Salam and welcome everyone. So today we're going to be working on the question on the screen that says Habiba travels 750 miles. How much does she travel in kilometers as well as meters? So this question is in two parts. We want to know how much she travels in kilometers as well as how much she travels in meters. So you're going to be solving the questions separately. The first thing you have to know is that we've been given the number of miles that or the distance that Habiba travels in miles. We're supposed to go from kilometers to meters. So in this unit conversion question, I'm going to be teaching you how you go from miles to kilometers as well as miles to meters. So the first thing you have to do is to note that one, let me write it again. The first thing you have to note is that 1 kilometer, okay, generally is equal to 0.621 mile. Okay, so having this information, you're gonna going to see how many 750 miles is going to be in kilometers. So we're going to be using the proportionality method where one side of the equation, so the left side of the equal to sign, would have one unit and the right side would have another unit. So what I'm saying is you have 1 kilometer equals 0.62 mile and we're solving for miles. So we're going to have 750 miles on this side is going to equal x, which is what we're solving for, which is our unknown. So you have 750 mile and mile on one side and then the other units on the other side. So that is how you like set up your proportionality. So next you're going to just simply cross multiply. So after cross multiplying, we have 1 kilometer times 750 miles equals to 0.621 mile, okay, times the unknown x. So of course we have mile on the left side and mile on the right side. We can simply cancel out that unit. So rewriting it just so it's clearer, we have 1 kilometer, okay, times 750 equals 0.621 x or 0.621 times x. So of course we're trying to solve for x or solve for the unknown. So we divide both sides by 0.621, then divide this by then we divide this by 0.621. So of course you cancel out 0.621 on both sides. So x is now equal to 750, okay, divided by 0.621, 1207.729 kilometers. Remember, the kilometer is what we're solving. So, what this is basically telling you is that this is what you get in kilometers. Now, of course, to write it in a way where it's crisp and clean, we're going to do it in three significant figures. So, to do it in three sig figs, that means the information is supposed to stop here. So, you have x equal to 1.21, okay, times 10 raised to the power of 3 kilometers. So, of course, three sig figs. This one is going to approximate it to 1. And since it's three sig figs, we write three sig figs and we use the scientific notification to do the rest. So what this is telling you is that 750 miles is the same thing as 1.21 times 10 to the power of 3 kilometers. Now we're also asked to go from this miles to meters. Well, since we have our information in kilometers, we have to remember that 1000 meters is the same thing as 1 kilometer. So if I put 1 point, okay, 1 times 10 to the power of 3 kilometers on this side, just like I taught you. And we've used x, so let's use another unknown. Let's say y. We can just simply cross multiply and we have y equals, okay, so y as in y, and then you have kilometer, of course, equals 1000, okay, meter times 1.21 times 10 to the power of 3 kilometer. Of course, since kilometer is on the left side of the equation here, we can cancel it out, and it's also on the right side of the equation, cancel it out. We're just going to keep it on the meter that we want. So y equals 1.21 times 10 to the power of 3 times 1000 is the same thing as 1.21, okay, times 10 raised to the power of 6 meters, because 1000 is the same thing as 1 times 10 to the power of 3. So 1 times 10 to the power of 3 times 10 to the power of 3 is 10 to the power of 6. And of course, we have 1.21 here. So the answer for this question in miles is that 750 miles will give you 1.21 times 10 to the power of 6 meters. Now, the second part of the question is Idris travels 75,000 meters. How much does she travel No, not does she. It traces a guy's name, sorry. How much does he travel in miles? So we know the information. We know that 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles. But then we have an issue. This question that we're given is in meters. So we have to go from meters, right, to kilometers, and then from kilometers to miles. That's how you solve this question. So yeah, that's basically how you solve it. So it's basically similar to what we did in previously where we went from solving from miles to kilometers and then from kilometers to meters. In this case, we're given meters and we're going to go to kilometers, then we're going to go to miles. So we have 75,000 meters. That's going to be equivalent to 75,000 meters, okay, is equivalent to how many kilometers? So that's the first point of action. So that would be, remember that 1,000, okay, we have to remember that 1,000 meters gives 1 kilometer. Hence, 75,000 meters would give how many kilometer? Let's say the unknown and put that as x. So what that would mean is we of course cross multiply. So equal to here, equal to here. So we cross multiply and we have 1,000 meter times x, okay, equals 1 kilometer times 75,000 meters. So yeah, so you cancel out both sides of the equation. So you cancel out meters, cancel out meters, and yeah, you always cancel out the units if they're similar on the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. So now we solve for just x. So x is now going to be 1 kilometer, okay, times 75,000. All of that information divided by 1,000. So when you do that, we cancel out the zeros and out the zeros. So x equals to 75 kilometer. So basically what this is telling you is that 75, what this is saying is 75,000 meters, okay, just M is okay. So 75,000 meters is equivalent to 75 kilometer. So we've had that information. We have that this part of first part of the information correct. So the second part of the equation is very easy. We go from the kilometers we just got or we just solved for to miles. So you remember now that 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles. So hence, we're going to use the proportionality information, right? Where this information right here would go to the left side of the equation. So that would be 75 kilometers equals what? Which is the unknown we're solving for. So proportionality, the units will have to match on one side of the equation as well as units have to match on the other side of the equation. So meaning the units for this x has to be in miles. So of course we cross multiply. Let me just put like this here. So in case this space is not enough, I'll have space somewhere else. So that will be x kilometer, okay, equal to 75 kilometer times 0.621 miles. So to solve for x is what we're going to do. So first of all, we cancel out kilometer here, cancel out kilometer here. So x equals 75 times 0.621 miles. So x, I'm also using the unknown x. Previously when I was solving it, I used the unknown y since we already used x. So here, let me just erase it and say we're going to use the unknown y here. It doesn't really matter what the unknown is, but in math, you don't want any sort of confusion. So the best thing is for you to make sure that there's no confusion. So no one is confused about what the x unknown is again. So let me just say why here and then why here. The important thing is we solve the question, but we have solved it in a way where the teacher or nobody that looks at our work is confused. So 75 times 0.62 miles, we just input that in the calculator to get